Oh, hi there. I bet you're wondering, how do I start an independent insurance agency? Well, I've worked with MIAA for several years and have started over 50 insurance agencies, and there's a few simple steps that you can take to make sure that your agency is set up correctly and to be successful. The first thing you have to decide is what type of a corporation you want to be, or if you want to be a sole proprietor. And we're not going to address that in this video because that's something you should really consult your tax laws in your state. But we are going to talk about the steps after that have to do with licensing and setting up your choice point ID. The first thing that you want to do is establish a business summary and a resume. These are things that are going to assist you with the insurance carriers and with the E&O providers that you're going to need to get coverage for. A business summary doesn't have to be elaborate. A lot of times it just needs to be a few paragraphs. At MIAA, we're able to help our members develop those because we know what the carriers are looking for and what the E&O carriers need in order to make sure that your agent's approved for the best premium. Obviously, by this time, you should have your producer license, but in addition to your producer license, you should also receive an insurance agency license. Many states, especially if you're a sole proprietor, will say that you won't need an agency license, but it's a great idea to get one because most of the national carriers need you to have that in order to pay you as an insurance entity. Finally, after you've established your resume, business summary, and your agency and producer licenses, you're going to need to apply for errors and omissions coverage for your agency. There are several vendors that do that based on your level of expertise and your experience. There's a wide range of companies and premiums. We also help guide our new members that join MIAA and the various carriers. We help them with the applications and sending them to the different companies. But that is going to be your next step in setting up your insurance agency. Once the E&O is established, then you're going to need to set up a sweep and an operating account for your insurance agency. The sweep account is where you deposit cash when customers bring cash into your office, and the operating account's for everything else, depositing commissions, expenses, pretty much what you'd normally think of when you're running a business. After the sweep and operating account, you're obviously by this time going to want to have an established email and phone number that you're going to be able to put down on the carrier applications. And I know it sounds silly, but it's often one thing that people forget, and they put a temporary email address in that after 6 months doesn't work, and companies still end up sending you stuff to that address. So it's something you'll just want to keep in mind. You'll also, along with that, want to create a fax number that has a caller ID number with your agency name on it. I'll touch on that in a minute and why it's so important. But at this point, you can start filling out the company paperwork for the different insurance carriers. What we do is help our members get set up with insurance carriers with lower volume commitments, and we have partnerships with those carriers so that they can receive higher commissions and incentives because as you may find, it's difficult to qualify for the insurance carriers that are really competitive in your area. And this is where we really shine and where we help our members, not just in the beginning phases, but long term when they grow their agencies larger and start to really see the benefit of that increased compensation. After the carrier paperwork is sent off, you're going to need to apply for your LexisNexis Node ID. I know that sounds like a superhero's nickname, but LexisNexis houses all of the MVR credit information for the United States, and those carriers need your Node ID in order to be able to pull that information on your behalf when they're giving you insurance quotes. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in. A lot of times, LexisNexis, or ChoicePoint, as it's also referred to, needs you to have a sponsoring insurance carrier in order to get the Node ID. But the insurance carriers need you to have a ChoicePoint Node ID in order to get you that code that they use to sponsor. So it's kind of a catch-22. And there's back and forth ways around it. It can sometimes take a long time. But another thing that we will help you with at MIAA is we will give you a sponsorship code right away, so that way your Node ID isn't delayed and it can save months on the process. So that's another way that we can also help in getting you set up. But the point of this video is to kind of help you understand the different steps that you need in order to start up an insurance agency. And I'm sure you have more questions. You can check out our website at www.miaainsurance.com. That's miaainsurance.com. and we're here to help insurance agencies of all sizes, and hopefully you've gained a little something from this video. Until next time.